What is going on, everyone? This is Anthony from Ready Mindset Grow Coaching and Personal Development. Today, after watching this video, you should be able to answer a few questions. If you're having any trouble with career change, not knowing where to start with a career, what you're good at, your purpose in life, what you should be doing, and what you should be focusing on to have a more fulfilling and happy life, we're going to go through that. I have a 10-question questionnaire that I do with my paid clients that I'm going to give to you to help you get on your way to going where you want to go, taking that big jump into your future career, your new career, or just finding out what you're good at as a personal assessment. So let's jump into the first question. So the first question I have for you today is, what do you want from your career? What do you need to get out of it in order to make you happy? I have my answers here, for example, so I can help you get through the exercise. Maybe this will get the creative juices flowing. So I wrote financial freedom, aligns with my values, I am positively impacting others' lives, I can live life on my own terms, and then I added work-life balance if that's something that you're looking for, or maybe more time with your family. Maybe you have to take the kids to school, pick them up, those types of things. So definitely write those down and just really focus in on what you need out of your job to make you happy. So I'll give you a few seconds to get that written down, and then we'll jump on to number 2. So question number 2 is, why are these things important to you? What really drives your motivating factor as to why you need these things in your life? Before you go into it, if you're stuck, some of my answers for this question were, I genuinely care about making the world a better place and want to have enough money doing so to retire my family. Living life on my own terms means not having to answer to anyone and being able to live by my values without question. So those are the driving factors behind why I want what I want when it comes to my career. So take a couple of seconds and we'll come right back for question number 3. So number 3 is, if money wasn't an issue and you had the opportunity to do anything for work that you wanted to do, what would you choose? For my example, I put baseball player, run my own music festivals, become the next Tony Robbins, be on camera to inspire others and or make them laugh. So you got to think as if you're a kid. And this will tie into another question that we have coming up, but the sky's the limit with this one. Don't think inside your box and think little, think big. You had so much bigger aspirations as a kid because you didn't know any better, and you didn't have all of those self-limiting beliefs coming from people that surround you. So you kind of got molded into that. Now go back to as if none of this conditioning ever happened and really dig deep and come up with something big, anything in the world. Let's do it now. I'll give you a couple seconds and we'll come back to the next question. So my 4th question is, what is something that you continuously talk about? You always find yourself constantly talking to this thing about people. You could talk to anybody about it for any length of time, or it's something you do that takes up a lot of your free time as one of your hobbies. So answer this question, and my answers were baseball, specifically the Yankees, electronic music, personal development, psychology, and the reasoning behind why people do what they do. So take a few seconds and we'll come back to the next question. So question number 5 is, what do you spend most of your fun money on? What are some big purchases, maybe your most recent 5 purchases that you've had as of late, or maybe you can look at your recurring biggest things that you end up buying. Go back on your statements and look and see what you're actually spending your money on. So mine actually ended up being personal development investments and my baseball card collection. So for example, that kind of tells me that if I'm putting a lot of money into personal development investments, that's something that I'm into, and maybe that's a career that I could go into tied in with some sort of psychology, which could probably be why I end up wanting to be a coach. My baseball card collection, on the other hand, is something that I do to keep me happy on the side. I buy and sell cards to make a little extra money as well, which is great because I truly enjoy it. Now take a couple of seconds to fill that one out, and then we'll come on to question number 6. So this ties into one of the questions that we had earlier, and it is, what did you aspire to be as your younger self? What were your biggest dreams? Write those down now. Did you want to be an astronaut? Did you want to be a professional baseball player? What are some of those things that you thought about as a kid, or at least as a young adult? I mean, growing up through your teenage years, I guess, that you thought something that would really be fun, that you would love to do, that you'd thoroughly enjoy. So for example, my answers were a professional baseball player, own my own graphic design company, and a psychologist. And everything with psychology is just completely fascinating to me, so I feel like that's something that I definitely want to tie into my profession. So answer those now, and we'll come back in another couple of seconds and move on to question number 7. Alright, and for the next one, so take something that you find ridiculously funny. Maybe it is a video on YouTube or someone that every time they say something you just cannot help but laugh uncontrollably. Feel that feeling, get that feeling inside of you, and ask yourself, what other activities in your life do you do that bring you that amount of joy, like that same feeling? No matter what it is, what are other things that you do, if you can list a couple things that make you feel that way. So take a couple minutes and fill that one out, and then we'll be on to number 8. Alright, hopefully you guys are trucking right along here. Now, the next question for number 8 is name 3 things that make you stand out as a person. And these are not skills that you've learned. These are personal qualities. For example, on my paper, I have my approachability and connection with people due to authenticity and genuine care. I work best through planning, scheduling, and structure. And third, open-mindedness and the will to entertain new perspectives. So I'm very open, I'm not really dead set in my ways, and if there's another way that people say are better to do something, I'm all ears and willing to learn that thing. Take a minute to write down your qualities or things people tell you that they love about you, and we'll come back for question number 9. So question number 9 is similar to the last one, except this is actually skills that you've learned. Name 3 of the top skills that you've learned over time through your life, and maybe it's things that people tell you you're good at. You have people coming to you for advice, they ask you to come over and help you work on something, they always ask you to review their papers, things like that. So write those down and we'll come back. My answers were emotional intelligence. I learned to empathize with others and understanding their needs. I was really good with my staff at my last job and supporting them, and I had a really good team. Everybody really respected me and things like that. So that's one thing that I learned from being a leader at work. Providing first-class customer satisfaction and service to others, and creating schedules, plans, and procedures, processes. So those are my 3 examples. Write down whatever pertains to you and we'll come back in a few seconds. Alright, and lastly, question number 10. What are some unique situations that you have been through, or unique things that you've learned along the way in your life that maybe you could help others with if they're in that same situation, or somehow apply something that you got out of that into your work and your career pathway? So for example, on this one, I actually have 5 situations that I went through that could help me. Maybe they made me stronger in a certain area, or I can help other people get through those same situations. I moved away from my family and my friends to pursue a job opportunity. I moved from Pennsylvania to Florida for a job, and it was really tough not being able to see my friends and family for a while, but I ended up being able to use that as a career coach to help others who are moving from one place to another for their career as well. I've been through multiple challenging relationship experiences. If I needed to coach someone through a relationship or troubles that they're having with that, I would feel very comfortable doing that because of the experiences that I've been through, and I can empathize with what they're feeling. Number 3 is I was fired from my job and my career unexpectedly without a backup plan, which is something that was really hard for me to go through. If you saw my first video when I was hitting rock bottom and my turning point, that's actually a good watch that ties directly into this and how I turned my life around and ended up having my own business. I lost my younger sister in a car accident while I was still in college, which is obviously something really big that I had to go through. I started a business partnership with my best friend during college as well. You know, I already have that entrepreneurial background and already been through this one time. So I can use that to help coach other entrepreneurs because we're like-minded people. So take a few seconds and answer that one, pause the video once again, and we'll come right back up to wrap it up. Alright, so what are you going to do with these 10 questions that you've answered? So what you want to do is you want to tie all of this together. You want to look at your answers, study them, look for trends or patterns or things that could be like with like that go together, and use your strengths to go and do something that you love to do. You want to satisfy these 4 different things when you go into deciding for a career, otherwise you're not going to be completely happy. If you satisfy all of these and balance the equation, you'll live a lot more happier, fulfilled life. So what you want to look for is something that fills you with pure joy and excitement, something that you can apply your current skills to, or if you have the burning desire to master the skills needed in that area of expertise, something the world needs. You have to be able to solve some type of problem in the world. I'm not saying that you have to solve world hunger or anything like that, but if someone has marketing issues in their company, maybe you want to go into marketing, you're still helping a need. It doesn't have to be, to save the oceans or some massive thing. It's just what works for you in the career field of your choice. And lastly, someone else needs to be willing to pay you for this thing enough to suit you and your family's needs. Now, these 4 things all root from a thing called ikigai. It's actually a Japanese term that means reason for being. With this test, you can find your reason for being. If you want to change your career, if you are starting out in a new career, if you wonder what you're good at, if you just don't know what you're passionate about, what you love, what your purpose is for, this quiz will get you headed in the right direction. So if you get those 4 things aligned, you'll be able to move on with more focused in a certain area, and you'll have more clarity about all of these things. If you take this and you're having trouble lining everything up, I would highly suggest that you find a coach or a mentor, maybe in this certain area of finding your purpose, passion. I'm not saying that it has to be me, but go out there and try to find someone that you work well with. And this will make a huge impact on your life and your happiness overall, I promise you. Now guys, I really need you to go take action on this one. There is no reason why this life is so short and that you should be doing something that you dread doing. If you hate going to work, if you hate your job, if it makes you miserable, if you wake up and you're like, shit, I gotta go to work today, you need to be doing something else. You have to be doing something else. Like, get up and figure out what you love. Take this test. Really put some time into yourself. You need to invest in yourself. If you don't know yourself, know the reason why you do things and the way your head works, you're gonna have some trouble. Really take this seriously. And like I said, if you have trouble with this, move on to the next step and getting someone to help you. I promise you, a coach or a mentor or someone will be able to help draw this out of you. Talk to your friends and your family, people that are close to you, maybe your peers, because your peers can give you an honest answer from the outside in to see what your strengths are, and you can apply that into going into a career that you absolutely love and you want to get up and you're motivated to go to work every day and do your best and grow and make something of yourself. So with that, I really hope this helped you. If you have any other questions, put them down below. You can put some of your answers down below. We can talk about it, which I love doing with you guys. I love the interaction anytime I ask these questions. So please feel free to comment below. Tell me what you're getting out of this and how I can help you. Maybe even say what you want to see in the next video, and I'll make sure that I produce that for you. So as always, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I come up with new videos. And always remember, life is not worth living if you are not doing what you love. Take care, y'all.